Hi there, trader friends. Jason here. Hey, a question that we quite commonly get is about taxes. How do you handle taxes and binary options trading profits? I need to start out by saying that at Binary Masterclass, we have a very strict rule that we do not give any advice about taxes because taxes are very, very complicated and every country does it differently. And every income level has slightly different rules, and there's all kinds of things going on. And so we will not give tax advice. But I will say that there are some things that you could do that I believe are good money practices that will help you in dealing with taxes as well. And it's just good money practices. So let's just jump right into this. And what do you do? How do you handle your taxes with your profits? And so what we're going to do now is we're just going to look through a couple of countries to see how they handle taxes, just simply based on what Google says. Again, I'm not trying to give tax advice here because that's just not what we do, but there are some good practices that you can bring in. So I'm going to share my screen here. The highest tax bracket in the USA is 37%. And so you're going to have some income and 37% of that income will go toward taxes. You can see there's different tax brackets, 10%, 12, 22, 24, all the way up to 37%. That is all going to be dependent upon how much money you make. I don't want to go into too many specifics, but the US and Germany kind of work pretty similarly in that, like, let's say your first $10,000 that you make, it's not going to cost you any taxes. Those numbers could vary slightly. I don't want to put those out as exact numbers. I actually don't even know fully what they are for different countries, but I know in some countries that you make up to 10,000 and none of that is taxed. Then every dollar or euro that's above that amount gets taxed at, like, for example, in this case, it'd be like 10%. So you make $1 over that threshold, well, that $1 is going to be taxed at 10%. And it just goes through that through each of these different levels. And the highest level is 37%. And so you will almost never have your entire income taxed at 37%. Only a portion of your income will be taxed at that. And so that's kind of important to remember. But here's the rule of thumb that I want to bring out. Of all of your profits, if you simply save 37% of it and put it off to the side, you're good. Like, that will cover all kinds of different possibilities because it could be in the US, you have to talk to your financial advisor, your tax advisor about this to see. But it could be that binary options trading for you will be counted as capital gains, and capital gains will be a different tax percentage. I can look at that right here. In the US, that is 15, it can either be 0%, 15%, or 20%. But the nice thing is, if you're constantly putting 37% aside for taxes, then if you are counted as capital gains, well, then you're covered. It's no problem. If you're also putting 37% off to the side, well, more than likely, you're not going to have to pay 37% on all of that. So you're covered. It's then going to take care of a lot of different situations. We can look here at Germany. The highest is 45%. So if you put 45% aside, then you're going to be pretty darn good. Because again, not all of your income is going to be taxed at 45%. You can see that your first 9,984 euros is 0%. It's not until you get to 9,985 euros that you'll then start paying 14%. And you'll only pay 14% on that $1 difference between those two numbers. So you make 9,985 euros, then you'll pay 14% on €1. So if you're always putting 45% on the side, you have no problems with the income side of things. The other thing you will have to keep in mind, if, for example, if you are in Germany or if you're in some other country where you have certain social things that you are required to pay into, like, for example, in Germany, the gesetzliche Krankenversicherung, or in Germany, the gesetzliche Rentenversicherung, then that's your health insurance and your retirement insurance in Germany, your social security tax. You're required to put that in, pay into that. And so you need to make sure you factor that in as well. But again, if you're pretty much putting 45% of your profits aside, you're not going to have too many issues. Same thing with the capital gains in Germany. Capital gains is 25%. Okay, there's also this extra solidarity and the church tax, but that's all going to be dependent upon certain things. I mean, maybe you don't need to pay the church tax. There's, other things involved in that as well. But if you're always putting the 45% aside, then you're covered with if it's counted as capital gains. It's no issue. Same thing in Australia. 45% is the max amount in Australia. Capital gains in Australia, you actually get a 50% discount. So, if I'm understanding it correctly, only 50% of your capital gains is counted as taxable, but that's only if you own an asset for 12 months or more, which that's not going to be the case in binary options because you're going to be in it for 60 seconds or 5 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever your expiry is there. But you can be keeping all of that stuff in mind. So maybe the capital gains element doesn't really apply too much here. Again, I don't know all of the tax things in all of the different areas, but we can pretty much say in general, if you put 45% of your profits aside, you're gonna be okay. Hey there, I'm taking a moment to interrupt this to really invite you to the trading room. We have been seeing amazing results there, and people who have wanted to just make a small amount of profits are starting to be able to make bigger profits. And I don't want to overpromise anything, but it is really a pretty incredible group. We have our trading room that's live where you see every single thing that we're doing. There's nothing hidden, everything is transparent, and that happens 3 times a day. We also have countless number of training videos. It's not like you join the group and you have a couple basic training videos that you can find for free on YouTube somewhere. Lots of high level, high quality training videos, and you can know how to stay out of bad trades. You can know how to get into good trade. We also have the inner circle, which is an amazing group of people. It is where lots more training happens. It's also where people are interacting with each other and asking questions and sharing their experiences. And I am sharing more. Our other moderators are sharing more and making sure you get all of the training that you need. We're answering specific questions in there. You also get one-on-one coaching directly from me or directly from one of our other moderators already included in your membership. It's pretty amazing where you can sit down with me directly. We can even take some trades together if you want, or I can look over your trading history and let you know what you can be doing to improve. We talk about trading psychology. That's been very, very powerful for a lot of people to know how to even approach the markets differently. So it's a pretty impressive setup. We've worked very, very hard to do this so that you can really have consistent profits and become financially free. So I absolutely want to encourage you, join us. I can pretty much guarantee that you will be pleasantly surprised by how for you everyone in the group is and how much all of us want to see you succeed and how much we do for you to actually help you succeed. So join us in the trading room. Okay, let's get back to the video. Let's take a look even further, and we have France. France is also at 45% with capital gains at 19%. So that's looking really, really pretty good there. Now, here's what's interesting, though, and this is something very, very fascinating. Let's take a look at the UK. The UK, you are again going to be 45%. You put that aside, that's pretty darn awesome. Put 45% of your binary options profits to the side. You're looking really, really good. Capital gains is 10 to 18%. But look at this now, guys. Many people I know in the UK, it's counted to them as gambling. Is gambling taxable in the UK? No, gambling is not taxed in the United Kingdom. So if you are trading in the United Kingdom, if you're trading binary options or CFDs for that matter, then that actually is not considered income in that way. It's also not considered capital gains. It's considered gambling income, and gambling is not taxed. And also, interestingly enough, there is no distinction in the UK between professional gamblers and amateur gamblers. So if someone is a professional gambler and they make their living, their primary source of income is through gambling, they are not taxed on that, whether it's poker or betting on sports or betting in binary options for that matter. It is not taxable. If you put a good amount of money on the side, let's go with whatever the highest possible tax percentage is for you in your country. You put that on the side, you generally are going to be okay. And that's good practice anyway, because you want to have money on the side, because what happens if you have some losses? Maybe you want to pull some of those profits over to help you recover some of your losses. That is also just good practice, and it's good financial sense. It makes financial sense to simply take money and put it off to the side anyway. And then at the end of the year, if you've been putting, say, 45% off to the side and you only need to pay, say, 15% because of US capital gains tax, for example, well, that's a lot of money that you now have in this nice little nest egg over here that you can use for an extra vacation, to pay off some bills, to go to your kids' college fund, or whatever you want to use that for. And that is a really, really nice setup. Okay, I hope that this video has been helpful for you so that you can understand a little bit more about how taxes operate. Again, I am not giving tax advice. I'm just simply looking on Google and seeing what it looks like it is in different countries. And ultimately, you need to make your decisions for yourself and talk with your tax advisor about that, and make sure that you're making the best possible decisions for your situation. All right, have a really great day. And hey, let's see each other in the trading room. We are having amazing results with people there. People are making consistent money, and that's why this is even a question that comes up about taxes. All right, so I want to see you in the trading room. Join us. Let's have some fun together. Talk to you soon.